Hi guys, how are we doing today? I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR. We are a full service PR and social media marketing agency here in Los Angeles. My client expertise is baby and kids, beauty and cosmetics, and lifestyle. Okay, so we're going to talk today about introducing yourself and your clients to the media. So we know that the media landscape changes so quickly, and it's always been important to have a very proactive media relations strategy, but navigating introductions or reintroductions now is a bit trickier. So we know that there's changes to which journalists are working where, they're moving around all the time. We always start with nurturing strategies, like relationship nurturing strategies, like engaging with editors on social media, send a quick little note, super short, and make a personal connection. It can go to them over email so that they can start to familiarize themselves with your email address and how your name comes up in email. Very simple, very simply, an example of what kind of message I'm referring to is like, hi, Erica, I've been loving your content lately for Business Insider. XYZ article was inspiring for these reasons, and like list one or two genuinely, like you read it, it resonated with you and why. Oh, and then the next sentence, it really resonated with me because I could see so much of my own journey in it. I wanted to introduce myself and my agency to you. We typically represent clients in the blank. So whatever niche you're in the beauty space, which I know that you cover regularly. Some of our current clients include, and you keep it very short, list your clients in bullet points with about 1 or 2 or 3 words max, describing what it is, like organizational tech app, like super short, sweet. And then follow up with, we are always keeping our eyes peeled for innovation in the space or what's happening within the space, and we're on top of trends and updates in this area. I'm here to support you. Is there anything you're working on right now where I could be of assistance to you? Looking forward to working with you. Super easy, and keep it super informal. Again, personality, let the personality shine through. They're going to want to just talk to you. If you're like robotic, it's like, I don't want to deal with this. So that's really easy. That is coming from a place of service and support. It's informing. And at that point, you've already informed the editor that you're aware of their publication, the content they cover, and you're helpful. You're coming from a place of service. I can't talk today. Okay, so I love that. It's very simple. And again, it's like all about simplicity. If you want to introduce a client of yours to media contacts, there's kind of 2 main scenarios. One is it's a new client to your current media contacts, and 2 is a current client of yours to a new media contact. See the difference? Okay, so to introduce a new client to media contacts that you already know, you've worked with, they know you, the very first thing, and this is really important, is the most important thing I'm going to say today. You want to assess whether the client has had representation before. Because the chances are these contacts have heard about or heard from this brand through their other representative. If that's the case and they have had PR expertise or contacts in the past, the goal of the message is to inform the media that it's you they should contact now. So you're letting them know, I am now the agency of record. I'm going to be your point of contact for anything as it relates to this company. If you have any questions or needs, please come to me. Okay. And you can, you're positioning it like you're already familiar. You've probably heard from the brand. We're the contact now. So we got you. Whatever you need, come to me. We'll take care of you. Okay. Start off excited and introduce the new client. So we're now the point of contact. Please come to us. You can give an overview of the client. You can share like 2 to 3 sentences generally about what the company or the client is. You're assuming that media, that PR firm has reached out to them, but you don't know for sure. Like you're pretty sure Sometimes they'll give a turnover list of all of the media outlets they've reached out to, but they never really mention contact names. And in fact, if you do that for a turnover when you're done working with a client, you don't have to give your contacts. You don't have to say who they are. You can say a department, or you can say which publication and like maybe the title, like, director of commerce or whatever. But don't give ever your media contacts. But if you get a turnover list, you'll have a sense that they've reached out to those contacts before. So you're reminding them, we're now the point of contact, come to us, brief overview of the client. And then it is a good opportunity to include 2 to 3 timely, relevant bullets around pitch ideas. And you can talk about those in the sense of like, if you're working on any stories around these topics, please keep this client in mind. Bullet, bullet, bullet. Like simple. These are the topics that, keep in mind for us right now. And then if you have a client with products, which we usually do, mention product samples. If you're able to give them, position it like, we'd love to refamiliarize you and get you reacquainted with this brand. We'd love to send you the newest, latest, greatest, whatever on your, send it your way. That is if you have product samples that you could send. If you're working with an expert client, offer them up for interviews around specific relevant topics. So like 2 to 3 areas they could speak on. And then close your message by saying you're looking forward to working with them, reiterate how excited you are about your new client and how you can't wait to work together. And just keep it short, helpful, short and sweet and to the point. And then the other scenario is introducing, a current client to a new media contact. Like if they move to a different publication or their beat gets switched, follow a similar process to what we already talked about, except switch out the excitement for the new client with the excitement about the new connection that you're making. So something like, hey, we've noticed that you've started to cover XYZ with this publication. This is happening more and more now as staff budgets are getting cut and certain writers are covering more and they're writing more and they're responsible for additional coverage. So they've already been with the publication, but now they're working in a niche or writing in a vertical that is going to be relevant to your client. So, hey, we've noticed you started to cover XYZ in this publication. We're really looking forward to working with you. Congrats on your new role. Share about the type of clients that you work with, because if this is the first time you're reaching out to them because you never pitched them when they were writing for another vertical, they don't really know you, your agency, or who you represent. And then you want to encourage the journalist or this editor to see you as a resource. So ask if they're working on anything that you can help them with, or if there are any ways that you can serve them now. How could I be of assistance to you now? Please let me know. And then focus on informing and ask for support. Don't ask for too much right away, right out of the gate. Don't go all the way on the first date. You want to gently get to know each other. And then come at it from the mindset that you're here to help. You want to help this person do their job, make their life easier by maybe offering your expertise in the space. And you're not coming at this from like this cocky perspective, like, I totally know. It could be just like, I found this informative study that I thought was really relevant. It was very interesting to me. And I just, wanted to share. So you're also showing that you are like an expert. You're a deep expert in this niche. You've been working in it a long time. You're very up on trends, industry news. You're assuming the journalist does their research too, but they can see you as somebody that is in the know on things that they're potentially working on. So you'll get it. Like there's a shorthand that you guys can speak to each other. So that is a way to offer up yourself as an expert in the space. And then also you can play matchmaker with sources or companies that are relevant to the articles they're writing, even if they're not your clients. And they're going to say like, this person's really awesome and they were very helpful to me, very clutch. You're coming in and you're like just a helper. you're giving, generous, open, caring, you got a big network and you're willing to share. And then letting them know that you're in the know about niche content, resources, clients. They're going to say, this is an agency that specializes in the content that I'm covering. I'm going to go to them first because they might have a client or they might have a contact that fits my needs, or they can point me in the right direction. Okay? That's how you make meaningful reciprocal relationships. So we had some really good feedback from members of our Profitable PR Pros community. Marissa Valbona, she has some insights about this scenario where she'll stay in very close contact with all of our clients' industry media. So when one leaves, we ask who's replacing them, and if they're on good terms with their replacement, we ask for an introduction, and then we usually get a very nice referral as a great source. And if a media contact leaves and they don't have ties to their replacement, Marissa will reach out to their replacement as soon as they arrive. That's usually when they are not busy yet and merely getting ramped up to understand the players, congratulate them on the new position, and offer ourselves and our clients as sources. So instead of being like, here's a pitch, what can you do for me? Pay attention to me, write about this. It's, hey, congrats on your new gig. Please consider me a source. We're here for you. We are here to support you however you need it, because we focus on this niche and our clients are all aligned with the content you're going to be covering. And then offering clients as a great source for background information, even if the journalist doesn't intend to use them in the stories, because they're getting acquainted and your client is making that connection. It probably will come back at a later time for an actual media opportunity. But in the meantime, you're clutch. You're just there being really helpful. You're not even asking like, oh, if we talk to you about background, like, please feature us. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but you've just solidified a solid relationship with that journalist and your client and your agency kind of like forever, unless you do something yucky to mess it up. And speaking of doing something yucky to mess it up, we've had members securing features on New York Times or Forbes, and their clients are like, I'm too busy. What the hell were you hired for if they're not going to actually talk to the media that you've secured for them? You've now jeopardized your relationships. And the way I always look at press wins is that they're my wins too. They are our agency's wins too. It shows we secure media in these outlets. We leverage that content to secure bigger clients, higher retainers, because you have proven results. When your client F's that up because they're like, I'm too busy, like, I'm sorry, you're too busy for Forbes and New York Times. Who do you think you are? That is incredibly damaging. So you're working so hard to build these relationships. You get a live journalist on the hook and your client blows it. That is like a serious discussion, if not a call to terminate the agreement. And a lot of our members have conduct clauses in their contracts that will talk about this very thing when clients don't show up for interviews, or they're putting off talking to a journalist after you've secured an opportunity. That's detrimental to you. So keep that in mind as well when you're building these relationships, that you've worked so hard. This is so valuable to other clients. And if you have one client come in and behave badly, you could potentially risk that relationship because of that client's conduct. So we hate that. And so we love this tactic Marissa shared about giving background information, and they appreciate this for fact finding. It goes so far to establish a close relationship. And Marissa said, we find that by doing this, we end up talking to media all day, every day, with them being the ones to reach out to us first. And some of them will even text them asking for stories. And it's a really solid way to keep the story pipeline full for clients. So you've got those quick responses that are getting the attention that your clients are all benefiting from, and you've got this open dialogue and there's a shorthand and you're like maybe even texting and able to just quickly get back to them when they need a source. So very helpful there. And I love that strategy, being just, there for them the second they start their job, before they get busy, like, hi, I'm here to help you. We got clients that fit the bill. If you need some backgrounder on XYZ, like, please consider us. So that's a great approach. And basically, if you annoy a journalist, they don't want to talk to you. So not even for story pitches, but also not even if you just want to get their insight on something. You're a partner to these media contacts. You're making their life easier, their job easier. You know their niche, you know what they cover, or what they're going to be covering, because you've been working in this space for a long time, or this is what you specialize in. So start getting them to see you and your agency for that. And that sounds like what Marissa Valbona inside our Profitable PR Pros Facebook group, what she does and how she is able to get a two-way conversation happening with media contacts basically all day, every day, where they're coming to her. But that's really helpful. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Take care.